The federal government just confirmed that they are about to start diluting your gasoline this May.
Yep, it's a go around.
Oh, God. Oh!
Yep.
Yeah, he's tripping.
Oh my God, do you see that?
The world is slowly losing respect for the United States of America. And this last video that Iran put out proves it.
You're telling me Waymo cars don't drive themselves? Nope, they are being remote control driven by people. People? Who are these people? So this is where it gets interesting. Those vehicles are being driven by prisoners.
Do you see Jews and non-Jews as the same? כאילו שווה ערך.
No.
Okay, explain.
I see Jews as the chosen nation.
The Kardashian family should have never let this leak because we've now discovered what they've been hiding for 20 years.
Welcome back to the Wizard's Fish. Man, we are already almost at 1,000 subscribers already. That is insane. Thank you guys so much. Like, seriously, I can't even express that enough. Thank you. Got some good clips lined up for today, so as usual, we're going to jump straight into it. Viewer discretion is advised, and everything that you see in here is going to be for entertainment purposes only. Let's get into it.
The federal government just confirmed that they are about to start diluting your gasoline this May. So basically, the EPA just announced that starting on May the 1st, gas stations across the country can sell E15 fuel nationwide. If you're somebody that doesn't know what E15 fuel is, it's gasoline that's cut with 15% ethanol instead of just the usual 10. And you literally cannot make this up right now because they are calling it fortifying the domestic fuel supply, which is a really weird way to say that you're just going to be adding more corn juice to people's gas.
The EPA has issued emergency waivers for gasoline blends like E15.
Now this is why it actually matters to you, because ethanol has less energy than regular gasoline, so your car gets worse fuel economy on E15. The entire point of this is that you might be saving about 25 cents per gallon at the pump, but you're burning through it faster, so obviously the savings just cancels itself out. But this is the part that genuinely nobody's talking about, because the EPA normally bans E15 during the summer because ethanol evaporates faster in heat and creates more smog. They explicitly know this, but they just decided to waive their own rule that they made anyways because gas prices are high right now and people are angry. And if you're somebody that owns an older car, a lawnmower, a boat, or a chainsaw, they're saying to be careful because E15 can mess up those engines. So they're making your gas cheaper by just making it worse. Is that even surprising at this point?
I know, like, the US is still cheaper on gas than it is in Canada by a lot. My dad goes to the US usually like every week or every 2 weeks to fill up. And even with the exchange currently, he said it's still substantially cheaper. So, yeah, and I know Australia is paying even more than us. Their diesel's, I think, like $3 a liter. It's ridiculous.
There are so many pictures of Jeffrey Epstein in the files, and there are also so many pictures that I haven't seen that I keep finding. For example, there is this picture of Epstein in the bathtub. It appears fully nude, I'm assuming. Now, it should be noted that there are actually multiple pictures in the files of Epstein in bathtubs, and there are plenty of photographs of Epstein nude. I mean, I think they've removed it from the files at this point, but before they did, there was actually a full nude image of Epstein standing on a beach.
These people are so weird.
I have it screenshotted somewhere. It's really a disturbing picture. But as soon as the DOJ realized that that photograph was online, they took it off. But it also begs the question, who took this picture and why? Who was taking these photographs of Jeffrey Epstein? And, I mean, it's really strange. If you look at where this photo came from, it came from Epstein's birthday book. So this was assembled by Ghislaine Maxwell, and that means that somebody had to send Ghislaine this photograph, which she then put in the book. We don't know where it comes from, we don't know the sender, but I do know that it gives me the chills to look at. And it goes to show that Epstein was inappropriate at practically all moments of his life. And yeah, it's really hard to believe.
Yo! Look at this! I'm so like, bro. What is this?
Like a rainbow beam?
This is the rawest shit I've ever seen in my life. Is it real? Like, what is this? I'm kind of scared, but I'm not, but what is it? What the fuck is it?
Do you see Jews and non-Jews as the same?
No.
כאילו שווה ערך.
No.
Okay, explain.
I see Jews as the chosen nation.
Okay.
They were chosen by Hashem.
Do they deserve the same rights? Let's put it that way. Does everyone deserve the same? Treated the same? Let's put it that way.
I think not.
Do you believe that the Gentiles, the Goyim, will one day become the slaves of the Jews?
So I believe it's part of the Torah.
יהיו עבדים של היהודים, יום אחד.
כן, כתוב בתורה.
אוקיי? ומה זה אומר?
בתורה אני מאמין.
כן? ומה כתוב? כתוב בפירוש שהגויים יהיו עבדים שלנו?
כן, כתוב, שאחרי ביאת המשיח, אני אומר, כתוב אחרי ביאת המשיח, אני לא יכול להביא את הפסוק המדויק, אבל כתוב שאחרי ביאת המשיח יהיה מלחמה מאוד מאוד גדולה, ובסופו של דבר כן, הגויים יהיו עבדים של היהודים במשך תקופה, ואחרי זה העולם יחזור כאילו לקדמותו.
אתם קרויים מאוד, כתוב אתם קרויים מאוד ואין הם קרויים מאוד.
זהו, אבל הם מאוד...
נכון, לא כתוב שהם...
יש לזה הסבר על זה, נכון? למה הם...
רגע, זה מה שאני רוצה להבין. רגע, שקט. אז כן, מה כתוב? זה מה שאני לא מבין.
שאתם קרויים אדם.
These are all scenes from a movie. It's not real.
גויים לא קרויים אדם, זה מה ש... כל הגויים שאתה רואה
For entertainment purposes only.
הם הכל רק בשביל שהיהודים יהיה להם...
I can't remember the name of the movie, but
אנחנו לא יודעים בדיוק.
it came out maybe like 10-15 years ago.
אז אוטומטי עדיין הם עוד לא משרתים אותנו לגמרי, רק חלקית.
אז כל אחד יהיה לו כמה אלפים עבדים. 2,800 עבדים.
A YouTuber discovered that a surveillance company named Flock Safety, who currently has over 90,000 cameras deployed through the U.S., is severely compromised. He found that many cameras are live streaming directly to the open internet. And what he was seeing is these cameras are even pointed at playgrounds. There's probably some sick people behind these cameras watching just everyday people. They got them on hiking trails. They got them in places you would never know. There was a clip where a guy was standing still looking at his phone, and the camera even knew to zoom in to see what he was doing on his phone. There's also videos of people at the grocery stores getting into their car in the parking lot. Now, let's say there's people sitting behind the cameras waiting for someone to walk out with 3 flat screen TVs. Now they got the license plate of the guy that just walked out with 3 80 inches in his flatbed. Oh, this guy got money. He's buying 3. Let's see who this guy is. Pull up his license plate, see where he lives. Now he's got someone watching him. There's a website, though, called dflock.org. And if you go to that website, you can see every single flock camera and where it's mapped at, all the way down to the specific road it's on. And if you go look, you'll see these things are everywhere, in every city almost.
That's a lot of cameras.
And it has strong ties to Peter Thiel.
You're telling me Waymo cars don't drive themselves? Nope, they are being remote control driven by people. People? Who are these people? So this is where it gets interesting. Those vehicles are being driven by prisoners. Prisoners where? All over the country. They started a program called Locked In, Drive Out.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Prisoners who are driving the Waymos can get time off of their sentence for every day that they drive a customer without an accident. That's amazing. So they're driving remote inside prison? My cousin was in this program. He took 2 years off of his sentence because of it. Wow. That's really cool. I love second chances, so I'm going to take a first chance and get into a Waymo soon.
Bro, these people really don't want Trump, man. Because why is this the third No Kings Day in history, man? Yeah, bro, the third No Kings Day in history, and this is a relatively new holiday. They really don't want Trump, man. This is in San Francisco. I don't know how many people it took to create this, but this is exactly what it looked like when it was finished, man. Look at all the cars. Look at all these people, man. Look at that. That's crazy, man. No ice, no wars, no lies, no king. And that's not all, man. But they had like a creepy ass No Kings Day in Nashville, Tennessee. Look at that. Donald Trump was leading the pack. This is crazy. The names Prince Andrew, Elon Musk. So these are the elites, the so-called elites that, you know, the people who currently are running the world. Look at this. Josh Harris. This is crazy. Why in the hoods though? And covering the face. Some got a mask on, some got paintings on their face.
The guy's wide shut.
What did he do? Woody Allen? Bro. This is crazy, man. Yeah, they're saying there's close to 8 to 9 million people worldwide. It's not just the United States, but worldwide, because Europe is agreeing and standing up in unison with this No Kings Day as well too. But yeah, man, it's happening worldwide. 9 million people. Look at this, bro. Look at the Capitol. So people are finally trying to make a statement, huh? And the crazy thing about it is, this is not even on the news. They're not talking about this. And No Kings Day was going fine until Los Angeles got into the mix, bro. And then chaos erupted. They brought out the police, the tear gas. You had the people fighting against the police. It was a crazy show. But like I said, we're in this shift. You can't impeach Donald Trump because he's part of the video game. He's the NPC, man. We're in a simulation. I know y'all see this. This is why they can't do nothing about this. This must take place because we are expanding our consciousness. We are rising new levels of consciousness, and this must play out, man. The shift is here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. We're in the midst of it. Let's continue to get it. Peace in. Y'all, I'm not saying that there's something going on with the skies, but when things like this is happening, it makes you question things, bro. Obviously, we're in the midst of a war, right? We got meteors or whatever's falling out of the skies. But why, when you are paying for a plane ticket, expecting a flight now, but when you get on a tarmac, you see a bus that's going to be taking you to your destination, bro? What is going on in our skies right now that they had to bring buses into the mix, man?
That's ridiculous.
Happening at all these airports. This girl right here purchased a usual flight to Chicago, and she's expecting a plane, but when she got on tarmac, a bus was waiting to take her to her destination. You can see on her face, she looks perplexed, like what is going on? It would be one thing if it was one person or two person, but it's happening to a lot of people. This lady's going to Trenton, New Jersey, and of course she's expecting a plane. At least the bus is nice. But look at you can tell she was shocked because she was like, what is going on? Y'all noticed it was right before the meteorites started showing up. Things started going crazy at the airports, right? I mean, everywhere worldwide experiencing it at the same time. And now the meteors are in the atmosphere, and now y'all have buses running this show now. This is crazy, bro. Look at this on the tarmac with the plane. Be honest with yourselves for a second, man. Y'all know these people have been lying to us since the very beginning. Y'all really think they're telling us the truth now? Do y'all really believe that they're telling us the truth with these meteors now, bro? What happened to 3i Atlas? All I know is I smell a fake alien invasion, bro. Let me know what you guys think about this video. The shift is here. We're in the midst of it. Let's continue to get it.
I think this summer, maybe.
Universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
And what are we in right now? We are in war, and all these things are happening in the skies right now, right? And he says, perhaps we need an outside threat. Like I said, we're in the midst of the shift. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
I'd like to know what frequency that's at. Probably something low, maybe like 30 hertz or 20 hertz.
Pay attention to this supersonic sled traveling at 6,600 miles per hour.
I can't even see it.
Pretty difficult to see, right? Let's slow it down to half the speed and see how well we can see it. Alright, now let's slow it down to 1/4 of the speed.
That's ridiculous.
Still almost impossible to see. So with this being said, do you really think that the ISS is orbiting the Earth at 17,000 miles per hour?
Yes.
While they're just dilly-dallying around and banging hammers on the side of it and pretending to do work. And did you know that if something is orbiting something, it's actually in a constant state of acceleration? So if you get in a fighter jet that has the ability to break the sound barrier and you accelerate really quickly, either you speed up really fast or you change directions really fast, well, you can pass out. You could literally pass out in the jet. So with this being said, how are we not perceiving the Earth spinning at 1,000 miles per hour and then orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles per hour? If you put water in a container and spin it, the centrifugal force pushes everything outward, but that's actually just a fictitious force. So acceleration is changing speed or direction. If you are turning something, if you are orbiting something constantly, you are constantly changing direction, constantly accelerating, and you will always feel acceleration. Just go in a car at 100 miles per hour and then start turning it around a roundabout at 100 miles per hour and tell me what you feel. So how is it that we can't feel us constantly accelerating around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour? That makes literally no sense at all, and I'm using real science to prove this. I made this video for entertainment purposes only.
This guy literally has like an infinity drawing. I don't know how to explain it. Just watch.
This thing I like to call the Infinite Sketchbook that I have on my iPad.
This thing is amazing.
Basically, it's this world that I've drawn in for the last 4 or 5 years, and it contains hundreds of hours of drawings that is just like one.
Yo, this is so amazing.
For as long as possible on. Now, I've only poured a couple hundred hours in, but made a lot of progress, and because I've been a bit busy, I haven't been able to work on it in a while, and there's honestly a lot of little Easter eggs that I forgot. And one of the first things that I actually found when I first logged in is I saw this little spiral on the side here, and I zoomed into the spiral, and there happened to be this little guy waiting for me at the end saying, looking for me, and that made me remember, wait, I have like 5 different versions of this guy just hidden throughout the world. Then that kind of prompted me to find more of them. And to be honest with you, I've been looking through for like an hour now, and I've only been able to find one other little guy, and I'm going to show him to you guys right now. So basically, if you zoom into the solar system and you go all the way into the Earth here, there's a little house on an island, and if you zoom into the window, there's an office with a snow globe on the shelf. And if you zoom into the snow globe, there is a computer. Zoom into the eyeball on the computer and follow the yellow line.
There's no way this is real.
And this eyeball, and all the way in here within one of the trees.
Bro, he said only a few hours, like a few hundred hours. There's no way, bro.
There's like no way you could even appreciate that whole thing. Like it's like an entire world inside of a world inside of a world. Like
there's a little comic book shop, and if you zoom into one of the other comic books that has me drawing, and zoom past into the picture frame on the wall, and then zoom past the high school version of me into the third eye, and then
no
zoom into this clock,
way.
And there's me again, this time older with longer hair. But you zoom into the forehead,
like X.
You are left with this image, and this is one of the first digital drawings that I did. And if you go into this little spiral that's off to the side here, and you zoom in there you have it. You have another little guy that's welcoming you.
Remember that old Oprah episode when she interviewed that woman who came from a satanic family and she exposed everything we're finding out in the Epstein files today?
That was used also in worshiping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism. You come from generations of ritualistic abuse?
Yes, my family has an extensive family tree. It's gone back to like 1700.
Does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family? From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl?
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family. There would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to, There were people who bred babies in their family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
Power.
For entertainment purposes only.
And so, were you ever used? Were you ever used yourself?
I was raped several times.
And what's your mother doing?
She's lives in the Chicago metropolitan area. She's on the Human Relations Commission of the town that she lives in, and she's an upstanding citizen. Nobody would suspect her.
This stuff has been going on for a long time, and yes, it's directly tied to the worship of Satan. Despite what they would want you to believe, people like Oprah know about this stuff. They've been knowing about it for a long time. By the way, Oprah,
I don't drink. I find it unproductive. Stop. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Stop. Stop.
The world is slowly losing respect for the United States of America. And this last video that Iran put out proves it. So Iran just dropped another Lego video. And this video is more disrespectful than the last video. I can't even explain it. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Pay attention. Look at this right here. No Kings just happened this weekend. Listen.
Sir, Iranians have released a new Lego-style animation.
They violating. They letting the United States know that they are ready if they step foot in Iran. This shit is crazy. And it's disrespectful. There is no way no other nation is going to respect us after this. Wow.
Them's fighting words.
They violating, man. They're basically saying that they are winning the war. Wow. This is violation right here. When you see this, let me know what nation is going to respect us after this. No, really. Who's gonna respect us after this? This shit is crazy. Come on.
She discovered that there was an artificial film on the turkey leg, similar to plastic. This is not cheap meat. This is a well-known meat brand. Some people online even suspect it might be 3D printed meat. And the site is giving American consumers chills. This turkey leg was produced by a major mainstream manufacturer, the kind you can find on any grocery store shelf. When she opened the package, she thought the outer layer was normal turkey skin. But as she began cleaning it, she realized the entire drumstick was wrapped in a thick, smooth, rubber-like membrane. She tried pushing her finger through it. It wouldn't break. She tried pulling it off. It wouldn't budge. She finally had to cut it open with a knife and peel the entire sheet off like industrial plastic wrap. And the most unsettling part, the sound, texture, and elasticity of that layer were almost identical to plastic. Some people say it's a processing film. Some say it's a moisture retention coating. But many others have a far more alarming suspicion. Is this a new form of 3D printed meat quietly being tested on the public? Who is altering our food? And why aren't we being told? What do you think about this?
That's such a cool trick. I want to try that out this summer.
The more I look into this prediction for Easter Sunday, the more interesting it gets. Let me tell you about it. A couple days ago, I made a video about this man, Chris Bledsoe. He was abducted by extraterrestrials in 2007. Then later, he had a vision of an event that would happen on Easter Sunday, 2026, a week from now. By the way, he first talked about that vision in public in 2012. Anyway, he was told in the vision that on Easter Sunday 2026, a bright red star would be above the Sphinx in Egypt. And that would be the sign that aliens, extraterrestrials, are going to announce themselves to the people of the earth. Now remember, he said this in 2012, that during this time there would be a war between Iran, Israel, and the United States. That orbs would rise out of the ocean and people of the world would see this. But there's something else about this story that just clicked to me. The Space Force logo that was made years ago. Do you know what it looks like? This is it, the United States Space Force logo. Look at that for a second. It's a Sphinx with a star over its head. A giant star over the Sphinx. Yeah, just like the story Chris Bledsoe said in 2012, way before Space Force was even a thing. So why is the Space Force logo almost exactly like his story? Coincidence, or did they know something too? I guess we'll all find out on Easter, which is about a week away. Shabadoo Bushkis! Shabadoo!
That's corn. In the center there, that's a fleur-de-lis, right? That looks like a fleur-de-lis. Ancient symbol. That's corn, and that looks like hops, like hop flowers, hop plant they make beer out of. And we have up there Excelsior crest. Now, and then at the bottom, you can see as I point down here, those are all heraldic crests from different families. That's a different family. That's a different family. Look, even at the bottom, that's a different family. That's a different family. Look, those are all heraldic crests. That looks like a Moloch in the center there, an owl. This is inside the New York State Capitol, New York State Capitol. Look, that's a heraldic crest. That's a family crest. That also looks like an owl face down there, dragon.
It would be so mentally relieving to have all the knowledge of like what all the symbolism and code words and you know what I mean, all that stuff, what it all means.
Different families right there. All different families. All different families. This is wild. This is the New York State Capitol, and this is one staircase. There's 3 of them like this. There's 3 of them. What do you think, Dave?
There's a shield or a crest up there.
Yeah, that's the Excelsior crest.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The New York State crest up there.
That's like super intricate too, man. Like that would take so much time to make.
Yeah, those are all different family crests. All these at the bottom here. And I've
Probably
zoomed in on
super
some
old,
of them,
too.
but all these are heraldic crests. Like you're talking about knight orders, family orders, bloodlines. There's a reason why these are all in here, fam. There's a reason.
They refer to this staircase as the $1 million staircase, one of 3 ceremonial staircases in the New York State Capitol, the Empire State, home of the Big Apple, or is it the Big Sin? Knights, orders, and nobility. Stay tuned for more, fam. I love y'all. Stay wild.
From 2020 through 2026, a lot of conspiracy theories proved to be true, but what consequences have there been?
We've had a global pandemic, turned out to be bullshit. Nobody cares, nobody gets in trouble, nobody gives a shit. We find out that aliens are real. Nothing changes, nobody gives a shit, nothing happens. A global pedophile ring Nothing happens. Nobody gets in trouble. Nobody gives a shit. We found out all the politicians are basically inside trading. That's how they make $140,000 a year. And then by the end of their fucking term, or just in a couple of years, they're worth like $240 million. Nobody gets in trouble. Nobody gives a shit. And nothing changes. Found out the president actually was fake. Nothing happens. Nobody gets in trouble. Nobody gives a shit. 9/11 was staged. Nothing happens. Nobody gives a shit. Nothing changes. Like, this is like from the year 2020 to 2026, like every other day is like a conspiracy theory being proven right. But nothing changes. Nobody gets in trouble. Nobody gives a shit. The whole Somalian thing. All these politicians that are like stealing billions of dollars, they don't get in trouble. Nothing happens. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, yeah, of course we all give a shit online, and we're like, bro, I fucking told you. Blah. But it's like, literally, like, nothing happens. Nobody gets in trouble. No one gives a shit. Charlie Kirk that guy totally did not just, that one fucking granny dude did not kill him. Nothing happens. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gets in trouble. Like, it's like we started a country because Britain was charging us 3% tax. Now we pay 36% tax. Nobody gets in trouble. Nothing changes. Nobody gives a shit. Like, it's like, I think that's the most infuriating thing about finding out all these conspiracy theories that we've had. Oh, Pizzagate. Pizzagate's fucking real. Nobody gets in trouble. Nothing changes. Nobody gives a shit. It's like, it is so mind-boggling how they've like changed and manipulated the way our society and social norms are by just like releasing an overload of information that we're just like, I told you.
And short attention spans.
Just don't understand. We should be taking these people into the fucking streets and like executing them. Like, I mean, seriously. Like, that's like what we should be doing. That's what our fucking great grandfathers and great grandmothers would be doing. I just don't understand how we find out these life-altering conspiracy theories that turn out to be true, and nothing happens, nobody gets in trouble, and no one gives a shit. It's like, it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane.
What are you going to do?
Thank you! What's up, man? Thank you. Sorry, I know your hands are full. My name is Micah. People that might see this, like right now, if they were to see this on social media, they would think that me and you wouldn't be allowed to have anything in common. Right. Because you're black, I'm white, and all the polarization of race inside of America right now. But we do have something in common, right? We both love our freedoms. We both love our rights. And I'm sure we have a lot in common outside of that. What is your reason for being out here today?
To make sure that the world knows that African Americans do exercise the Second Amendment right, and we do believe in the Second Amendment, being able to protect our families.
You guys are in Virginia Beach?
Yeah, 757.
So am I. Okay.
The whole 757.
Yeah.
I got a card here.
Yeah, let's connect.
That's how it should be. That is disgusting. Would you pay $1 to let her lick your eye? I wonder if you have to go to school for that. Become certified?
Yep, it's a go around. Oh, God. Oh! Yep. Yeah, he's tripping. Oh, my God. Do you see that?
What you just saw was a commercial jet attempting to land at the Savannah International Airport in Savannah, Georgia. Pilots that fly there will tell you it is probably the most dangerous place to land in the entire country. The number one reason being they have strong, unpredictable crosswinds due to it being in coastal Georgia. They have constant wind shifts. Winds often hit at an angle, not straight down the runway. Gusts can change rapidly in short, heavy bursts. This forces pilots to use crab angles and aggressive corrections right before they touch down. The main reason is because they're surrounded by marshlands. The airport sits next to wetlands and tidal marshes. They have little terrain or buildings around to break the wind, and air flows low and uneven over warm marshes and wind and sheer turbulence. As a result, pilots feel a sudden drop or sideways push close to the ground. One commenter on this video said they were on a commercial jet trying to land there, and they attempted to 3 different times. He said people on this flight were fainting, screaming bloody murder, and some of them were throwing up on the plane before they finally diverted to another airport to land. That's how real it can get trying to land on this runway. Check out the rest of the video. Let me know what you think.
I hate flying.
You're videotaping that?
I had a flight coming back from Christmas in Toronto one year, and it took like 15 tries to land because it was so windy. Everybody got all quiet. I was terrified.
You see that bank? Go around. Watch, it's gonna go around. Yep, it's a go around.
Oh, God. Oh!
Yep. Yeah, he's tripping. Oh my God, do you see that?
I would never fly again after that. Ever.
Did the tail just strike?
Oh! Yo!
NASA is officially launching humans to the moon for the first time since 1972, and it is happening in 3 days. NASA just confirmed that Artemis 2 is going to be launching on April the 1st at 6:24 p.m. Guys, in just 3 days, humans are going to be leaving Earth's orbit for the first time in 50 years, and somehow it feels like literally nobody is talking about this right now. Victor Glover is about to become the first person of color to ever travel beyond Earth's orbit. Christina Koch is going to become the first woman, and then Jeremy Hansen from Canada becomes the first non-American. This is 3 different records all being broke from a single crew and a single launch. So that's obviously a little bit insane. But this is the part that is actually insane, because they're going to be flying about 4,000 miles past the moon and then re-entering Earth's atmosphere at about 25,000 miles per hour.
I think the insane part's that we can't actually leave the Earth, and that they're gonna do that.
Alone is going to officially make this the fastest and the farthest that any human being has ever traveled in history. I'm actually going to be live streaming the entire launch right here on my page, so if you want to make sure you don't miss it, you need to make sure you go ahead and follow me right now, because we're obviously going to watch it together. 54 years. Do you believe it or not? We are officially going back.
The psalmist says, I'm excited. Bless the Lord, O my soul. One of his benefits is he heals all of my diseases. In verse 4, he says, and he redeems my life from the pit.
Listen to his voice start fixing.
Just a whole lot. I have had, and you have had in times past, pit experiences. We've both had.
You can hear the shock in his voice.
We've all had times when our life seemed to be in a pit, in a grave. And we didn't have an answer for the pit we find ourselves in. And I don't understand this right now. I'm but overwhelmed at the moment. I'm not quite sure what to say or do.
So he had an injury that affected his vocal cords, and for I think it was like 20 or 30 years or something, his voice was super raspy and it was hard for him to speak. And then all of a sudden, he was preaching about how God heals, and then in the middle of that, while preaching about it, his voice just started healing, and like you could hear it in his voice, like he was legit like speechless. Awesome story.
Bigfoot kissed my daddy and called me slurs in the Goodwill parking lot.
You know what? A lot of people won't, but I believe you. I believe that story's too crazy not to be true. Slurs in the Goodwill parking lot. That's so Bigfoot.
was too funny. Oh. I'm sorry.
I can see there being something to that.
This is why people say Chinese agriculture is decades ahead of the rest of the world. While in many places trees are still cut down to make furniture, in China they grow chairs directly from trees. A striking example is a chair grown from a crepe myrtle tree. This isn't something carved from wood. It's a living plant that's guided into shape from the very beginning. Creating just one chair can take up to 15 years.
So cool.
It can support over 1,100 pounds of weight. Every chair is completely unique. This isn't just furniture, it's a true work of art. Imagine a summer afternoon, a light breeze, and you sitting on a living chair like this, lost in thought. What could be calmer or more harmonious? Using the same method, they grow benches, tables, and even gazebos, fully rooted into the ground. These technologies aren't just a step into the future. They're an example of respect for nature and a desire to combine functionality with beauty. Would you like furniture like this? Write in the comments.
Heck yeah.
If you're not following, you're probably never going to see us again. If you are, then congratulations. You're growing every day.
He was told that there were 3 giants there. They killed 2 and 1 got away. I think so many people, when they hear the story of the Kandahar giant, they're like, oh, it's a one-off.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to a guy named Ray who was adopted out of his Afghanistan family. He was raised American, reconnected with that side of the family as an adult, winds up meeting his grandmother in Afghanistan, or his uncle, I think it was. And his uncle tells him how when they were kids growing up, their mom, so Ray's grandmother, would take a goat out into the mountains and sacrifice it to the giants. She would feed the giants goats as like almost like a peace offering.
Wow.
Years ago, I had a guy who listened to the show. I don't know if he still does, but he was in the military. He would go out in Afghanistan while he was there, just asking people around just different things about the area. And when he would bring up giants, he said a lot of times people would either clam up or just act like they have no idea what he's talking about. And one guy told him that there was a very specific location in Afghanistan that shares the border with China, which is about a 30-mile stretch. It's a natural preserve. And he said, there's giants up there. That's why nobody goes up there.
Wow.
So like in the Middle East, there's this legend of giants that are walking the earth today.
Sure. I would still believe that. Yes, absolutely.
And even here in the States, people talk about it. You know, Utah is wild with legends.
Yes, yes.
So my thought is, if the rise of the Nephilim is coming, like you were talking about the technology and all that, but I think the last point you made was actual giants.
Absolutely. 100%.
They can hear the water?
They can hear. When I was doing this research on plant intelligence, they have 20 senses. We only have 5. They're picking up magnetic fields. They're picking up pH. They're picking up nitrogen. They have all
How do we
these,
know all this?
There's a group of botanists, and they're doing these cool experiments with plants. They can hear. So if you play a recording of a caterpillar munching on leaves, they'll react and they'll send chemicals into their leaves to make them taste bad.
Also, too, it's been proven that if you play like classical music to plants, it makes them grow better. And that's because it's tuned to 432 hertz instead of 440. Something to look into if you're not aware of.
toxic. They can see there are vines that change the shape of their leaves depending on the plant they're twining up in order to be hidden. How do they see the shape and to imitate it? We don't know. Plants will go toward a pipe with water in it because they can hear the water even though it's totally dry, and they'll send their roots down to it.
People ask me why their grandparents or great-grandparents never talked about the reset. Why don't they remember anything about it? Well, let me try to explain it. First, there were the Cabbage Patch Babies. Now, these weren't just toys, you see. They became a symbol of something much bigger, a massive repopulation effort after the reset. These babies, they weren't born the usual way. They were produced almost mechanically in large numbers and distributed through a cold, efficient system. Strange, isn't it? Brings to mind ideas like cloning, doesn't it? And maybe that's why today you see so many folks who just seem to go with the flow. No questions, no thinking. Did you know they say nearly half the population doesn't even have an internal monologue? Imagine that, living life with a quiet mind, just
the left.
Long.
I don't subscribe to either side, but the left mostly.
Off, along with abandoned children who had survived the reset, taken from their families, sent to faraway lands. Many ended up in America. And when they got there, they were given a new story, the official version of history. No elders left to tell them the truth. Nobody to remember how things used to be. It made them easier to control, you see, easier to accept the new narrative.
The 1850s, just after the last reset, there began a massive push to reintroduce technology, culture, and even people to the world. World's fairs had these massive exhibits called live infant incubators. These exhibits were insanely popular, drawing millions of visitors. They even had nurses in uniforms acting like caretakers. The babies weren't premature. They were being artificially gestated. This wasn't just a medical breakthrough. This was unfathomably advanced technology. Artificial wombs, mass baby production. Sounds a whole lot like a new world being repopulated after something big went down.
That doesn't look like AI. Could be wrong though. Never know these days. $10 million condom. I don't think those dates are accurate. I don't think the world's actually that old. So maybe around like 6,000 years, in my guess.
This is a pill.
The Kardashian family should have never let this leak because we've now discovered what they've been hiding for 20 years. Have you ever noticed that every time a man gets involved with a Kardashian, he ends up in a bad place? Even though there have been many, and we've forgotten most of them, they all seem to fall apart. Just think about Kanye West. He's the perfect example. And don't forget the transformation of the mother, who went from this to this. I still can't believe it. Then there's all the symbolism. For example, in this image, people found a hidden message formed by the way their arms are positioned. There was also Kendall Jenner, who made the mistake of posting one of her tattoos, which looks exactly like Baphomet on her finger. We've also seen the one-eye symbolism with Khloe. And then there are these photos where all the Kardashian sisters are doing the same pose, hiding even more meaning. The strangest thing about this family is a rumor that has been circulating for years, claiming that Kim channels certain deceased celebrities. The proof people point to is that moment when she receives a lock of Marilyn Monroe's hair.
Okay, this is either really cool or a little strange, but that's who you're doing business with, right? So...
What is this?
That is Marilyn's hair. So.
You can clone her.
That's awesome.
You can clone her.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I'm literally going to do some crazy voodoo shit that I don't want to wait. Going to do some crazy voodoo shit that I don't want to wait. And I channel her.
But we also shouldn't forget that in American Horror Story, she literally played a Hollywood witch trying to take Emma Roberts' baby to gain fame, almost as if reality was being hidden inside fiction. Watch this clip.
He's 3/4 me. I mean, we used to have to use magic to make our creatures. The IVF produces miracles these days. You're a monster. Oh no, babe. I'm so much worse.
All right, guys, if you made it to the end, I appreciate you very much. Thank you, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Peace.